nationality na ano may bukas pa. Sabi mo ang tiwagala ng gala.
Pasa ka o.
Ano? Kasi ito mga kasi, ito ay bababasa ko sa akin kanina. Saktong kayo kayo pag-is na. May sinabi kayo sa akin, hindi ko kayo makapomi. Ano ba? Retrofit ng national, Ed. School buildings.
Kasi ano daw yung paghahanda doon sa ano?
Big one.
Ang tinukong ko saan pa kukuha ng pundong ito? Parang
ano nga yung paano?
tapos isasabit natin o sabit ni March 21 na.
Gagawin natin dyan.
Merong allocated fund para doon sa
Ay, nagawa pa kayo.
100 million.
Nakakasama pa rin sa other public buildings. Yung ganito fitting ng ito kamukha nila parang friends school itong nakita. Public building. yung ano, yung sa third control natin report. Yeah. Si Padre.
Good afternoon, back members, back secretariat,
Sige.
back technical working group, first observers
Justification.
from OWA, prospective leaders, and to all our viewers via YouTube live stream. Today is March 21, 2024.
Transmit.
We will conduct a conference for civil work projects with contract ID number B0165 to B0173. And many head back secretariat engineer Kini, Maricel J. Shankita for the roll call of attendees. Take it away.
Good afternoon po. For the roll call of attendees, from back member, we have Engineer Juan J. Paniban, our back chairperson.
Present, ma'am. Good afternoon. 1 second.
Engineer Leia Esmatas, our back vice chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Evan D. Gonzalez, back member. Engineer Crisostomo M. Villalobos, back provincial member. Engineer Christine A. Dualhati, back provisional member. From back DPWH, you have B. Akusa, present. From back secretariat, Joyce Brgy, with Maricel J. Shankita, your acting secretariat. And we have Miss Maria Cecil Barangay, Miss Raquel Mercado, and from COA, we have in attendance, we have 5 back members present, so we have quorum.
So before we proceed our agenda, let me remind you the purpose of this conference. Under Section 22.3 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act 9184, it states that the private conference shall discuss, clarify things, the eligibility requirements, and the components of the contract, including questions and clarification raised by the prospective bidders before and during the private conference. Meaning, the purpose of this is to avoid or minimize latent failed bidding documents during the evaluation of bids. And the BAC is expecting that the documents to be submitted during the bidding will follow or comply with all the procedures prescribed and to what we are going to discuss here today. The bid conference provides the procuring entities and the prospective bidders clear guidelines and provide an avenue for clarification to enhance efficient to be discussed will be divided in 4 as follows. Letter A, brief presentation of contract data. Letter B, component of the technical and financial proposal. Letter C, the explanation of feasibility screening, preliminary examination of bids, evaluation of bids, and post-qualification. And last, letter D, contract awarding. The question or comments from the prospective bidders will be entertained after the topic had been presented. Meaning to say, during the discussion, kindly reserve your questions. We will have time for the open forum for question and queries. So for the brief presentation of the contract data, may I request our honorable newly appointed construction chief, Engineer Jose Crisostomo and Villalobos, to discuss. Stand correction. Baka si Engineer Luwalhati sa pasasabihin pinag-pala.
Ay, sabi pa. Pasensya na.
Good afternoon.
May bayad.
For the person.
Yan, ang bulol.
Presentation. Basic. Contract ID number 24 BDC 173, implementing of phases because construction.
For contract ID number 24DD0165, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, access roads and our bridges from the national roads, leading to major things, facilities, improvement of road, Barangay, Lapolapo, San Jose, Batangas. Scope of works, asphalt overlay of 1,495 linear road with width of 6 meters and thickness of 50 millimeter. Reblocking of 41.2 linear meter road with width 4.15 meter and thickness of 0.2 meters. Installation of 300 millimeter diameter RCPC, application of concrete electrolyzed of plastic pavement. For the contract, 4,750,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 2024 General Appropriations Act. Contract duration, 105 calendar days. Size range, small p. License category. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, RRA, roads, rehabilitation, asphalt. For the similar categories of works, RCA, road, as for the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For contract ID number 24DD01, Convergence Special Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, multi-purpose buildings, facilities, social services, multi-purpose building, government center, Ibaan, Batangas. One-stop structural works and architectural works. Budget for the contract 19,800,000 pesos only. Source of funds, FY 20 General Appropriations Act. Contract duration 120 calendar days. Size range small b. License category C and D. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, BIC, WOP, and C. Low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. For the similar categories of works are the following. For the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For contract ID number 24DD167, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, purpose buildings, facilities to support, social services, construction of multi-purpose buildings, scope of works, construction of one-story gymnasium, 44 by 28 meters, including playing area, 28.7 meters, by 15 meters, stage with dredges by 8.85 meters, bleachers at left and right side 32.2 meters by 2.75 meters, storage room, office, toilets, and ramp. Note, 0.6 meter elevation from higher NGL level to FFL court. Approved budget for the contract, 17,820,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 2024 General Appropriations Act, contract 45 calendar days, size range small b, license category C and D. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, BIC, WOPLS, build construction without piles, low-rise steel frame 1 to 5. For the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For contract ID number 24DV0168, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Instruction Program, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, Municipality of Rosario, Batangas. Scope of works for Barangay construct 155 linear meter and 54 linear meter road with width of 3 meters and thickness of 0.2 meter. For Barangay Lumbangan, construction of 239.5 linear meter road with width of 4 meters and thickness of 0.2 meter. For Barangay Tikiwan, construction 2 linear meter road with width of 4 meters and thickness of 0.2 meters. Approved budget for the contract, 9,900,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 24 General Appropriations Act, contract duration 45 calendar days, size range small b, license category C and D. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, RCP, roads, construction, PCCP. For the similar categories of works, RRP, roads, rehabilitation, PCCP, RCTP, roads, construction, tunnel, PCCP. For the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For contract ID number 24DD0169, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, Municipality of San Juan, Batangas. Scope of works for Palahanan Dos, construction of 230 linear meter road with width of 4 meters and a thickness of 0.2 meters. For Buhay Nasapa, construction of 186 linear meter road with width of 5 meters and thickness of 0.2 meters. For Kalungkog Dos, construction of 186 linear meter road with width of 5 meters and thickness of 0.2 meter, including clearing and gravity. Approved budget for the contract, 9,900,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 General Appropriations Act. Duration, 118 calendar days. Size range, small b, license category C. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, CP, roads, construction, PCCP. Similar categories of work, RP, roads, rehabilitation, PCCP, RCTP, roads, construction, tunnel, PCCP. For the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For contract ID number 24DV0170, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, secondary roads, rehabilitation of Rosario San Juan Road, Batangas. Scope of works, intermittent reblocking of 116.4 linear meter damaged pavement carriageway using cement treated base and reinforced concrete pavement with varying width of 3.05 meters to 6.10 meters and thickness of 0.3 meters. Approved budget for the contract 2,200,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 2024 maintenance and other operating expenses. Contract duration 30 calendar days. Size range small b. License C&D. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, RRP, roads, rehabilitation, PCCP. For the similar categories of works, RRCP, roads, construction, PCCP, RCTP, roads, construction, tunnel, PCCP. For the minimum payment required, 24 DD 0171, repair, maintenance of tubing of the river, Population, Padre, Garcia, Batangas. Scope works, repair of 34 linear meter damage stone masonry on left side downstream. Approved budget for the contract, 2 million pesos. Source of funds, 011-011-01, SR 2024-02, 01 for 44 calendar days. Size range small b, license category C and D. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, FCSPS, flood control, construction, slope protection. For the similar categories are the following. The minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For contract ID number 24 DB 0172, repair Lipa City, Batangas. Old City Hall Compound, Main Interior and Morada Avenue, Lipa City, Batangas. Scope of works, rehabilitation of 3-story DOTR building, LDO, rehabilitation of inside gutter, replacement of flashings, gutter and pre-painted metal sheets, provision of catch basin, repainting of building exterior, and repair of damaged ceiling. Approved budget for contract, 1,500,000 pesos. Source of 01101, SR 2024-02-011689. Contract duration, 60 calendar days. Size range small b, license category CMD. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, BIR, buildings repair. For the similar category following. For the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For contract ID number 24GD0173, repair maintenance of DA building, National Meat Inspection Service, RTOC for a laboratory building, Barangay, Lipa City, Batangas. Scope of works, rehabilitation of 2-story DA building, 22 meters by 17 meters, including rehabilitation of roof framing works, and repair of ceiling. For the contract, 1 million pesos. Source of funds, 011-011-01, SR 2024-02-11-011-689. Contract duration, 45 calendar days. Size range, small b, license category C and D. For the major category of works involved in the contract to be bid, BIR building repair. For the similar categories of works are the following. For the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the minimum material testing equipment for small contractors with contract ID numbers 24DB0165 to 24DB0173 are the following. For the minimum manpower requirements for contract ID numbers 24DB0165 to 24DB0167 are the following. For manpower requirements for contract ID numbers 24DB0168 to 24DB0173 are the following. For manpower requirements, accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to DEO 98 series of 2014, submission of construction safety and approved by the Department of Labor and Employment. For additional requirements for construction safety and health officer, the assigned personnel must meet the requirements of Safety Officer 3 with additional 48 hours of advanced specialized occupational relevant to the industry as prescribed in the Republic Act number 11058 issued through DEO 198 series of 2018 of Dole. First aider with certificate of training issued by Red Cross in compliance to Dole requirements for DEO 98 series of 2014. The key personnel should meet the following number of years of work experience. 1. The experience means total years of civil works experience of any nature in construction and engineering consultancy services. 2. Include the tax identification number of the key person compliance to DO 98 of accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineer, and 3. Include the contact number of the materials engineer. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Maintenance Man. So, for the continuation, our Engineer Queen Maricel Santita will further explain the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the contract BP.
For checklist for the preliminary examination of technical and financial proposals. Shown is the checklist for technical proposal. Technical proposal must be composed of the following. For Class A documents, you have legal documents. Valid field jobs registration certificate must be platinum membership. Under Section 8.5.2 of 2016 revised IRR, the bidder shall upload and maintain in field jobs a current and updated file of the following Class A eligibility documents under Section 23.1A and 24.A. Next, we have registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Department of Trade and Industry or DTI for sole proprietorship or Cooperative Development Authority CDA for cooperatives. Next is mayor's or business permit issued by the city or the municipality for the principal place of business of the prospective bidder or equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. A recently expired mayor's or business permit together with the official receipt as proof that the prospective bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed by concerned local government unit shall be accepted by the field judge for the purpose of updating the field judge certificate of registration and membership in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of 2016 revised IRR. Next, you have tax clearance per EO number 398, series of 2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, we have the statement of the bidders of all these ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature, complexity to the contract will be. Next, we have the statement of the bidders' largest completed contract, or the SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. Next is the valid Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PICAB license, or special PICAB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the time and cost of the contract to be bid. Next, we have the original copy of this security, if in form of also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. For project requirements, we shall include the following. First, the organizational chart for the contract to be bid. Next is the duly signed list of the contractor's key personnel. Given examples are project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, construction safety officer, and foreman, to be assigned to the contract with their complete qualification experience list. These personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the BDS. Third, we have the duly signed list of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units to be used for the contract, which are owned, lease, and/or under purchase agreements, supported with a proof of ownership, lease, purchase or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. These equipment units must meet the minimum major equipment requirements for the contract set in the BDS. That is the original duly signed and authorized Omnibus Source Statement or the OSS in accordance with the Section 25.3 of the 2016 revised IRR. And for financial documents, you have the prospective bidders' audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions. For the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of the bid submission. For Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR, which partner of the joint ventures shall submit their respective two-step certificates of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of this IRR. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitutes compliance, provided that the partners responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of audits ongoing contract and audited financial statements. Bidding forms for technical documents. Reminder. For the prospective bidders that shall use the bidding forms, the bidder may download these forms from DPWH website. The bidder may also obtain from procuring entity hard copies of these forms as part of the bidding documents for the contract. For purposes of determining the eligibility of the bidders using the criteria stated in Section 23.4 of the revised 2016 IRR, only following documents shall be required by the BAC using forms prescribed in the bidding documents. Bidding documents with prescribed forms shall be considered as compliant. Shown is the bid securing declaration. Next is the contractor's organizational chart. The list of contractor's key personnel's affidavit. The list of contractor's equipment. And the Omnibus Source Statement. This is the checklist for the financial proposal. For financial proposal shall be composed of the following. First is the original actually signed and accomplished financial bid form. Next is the original actually signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Third is the duly accomplished detailed estimate form, including a summary sheet in of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. And last is the cash flow by quarter. Bidding forms for financial document. You have the bid form, the summary of bid prices, the bill of quantities, and last is the cash flow. The purchase and submission of bid. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by the interested bidders until April 2, 2024. Cut-off time is 9:15 a.m. Bidder must have an approved appointment with specific time schedule. In case of non-appearance, it would automatically mean a cancellation of appointment. Please be informed that on the day of the bid opening, the approved appointment intended for purchasing bidding documents will be limited to 10 prospective bidders only. To strictly follow the bid opening schedule, secure the approved appointment to DPWH Batangas appointment@gmail.com. Bids submitted manually must be duly received at billing room, DPWH Batangas District Engineering Office, Maraway, City, Batangas, on or before April 2, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. For submission of bids, for electronic submission of bids for civil works project, it must be sent at electronic bids_Batangas4@dpwh.gov.ph on or before April 2, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. The procedure should be observed following Department Order Number 87, Series of 2020. It is also indicated in our bid data sheet or the BDS. All representatives who will be duly authorized and registered liaison officer as reflected in the Contractor's Registration Certificate or the CRC. Authorized representatives are required to present their company ID and one government-issued ID for verification purposes.
Thank you, Engineer Salpita.
Ano pronunciation? Siyan. Ano? Siyan kita.
Thank you, Engineer Shantita. Sakit na natin. And for the explanation of criteria for eligibility screening, preliminary examination of leads, evaluation of leads, and post-qualification will be presented by Engineer Ira Marie V. Acusa, our DWG member.
For the preliminary examination of bids, technical proposal, the purpose of this examination is solely to determine the presence or absence of each of the required documents comprising the bid, as stated in section 3.5.2, using a simple non-discretionary pass if present or fail if absent criterion with the aid of checklists. The box shall first open and undertake the preliminary examination of the envelope containing the technical components of the bids. The box shall determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the technical component. If the required document is present, the technical component shall be rated as passed for the particular requirement. On the other hand, if the required document is absent, missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient, the technical component shall be rated as failed for the particular requirement. The box shall rate the technical component as failed and immediately return to the bidders concerned its second envelope, which is the financial component, and open. Receipt of the scanned copies of the first bid envelope with the required forms prescribed in 2016 revised IRR, which are for online or electronic bid submission, shall be considered compliant with the requirements of the said bid submission, subject to the submission of the original copies of the following: bid security declaration or other forms of bid security, excluding cash, and the omnibus sworn statement. These forms shall be submitted by the bidder to and duly received by the bank concerned during the post-qualification stage. The non-submission of these forms on the said period shall render the bid submission as non-compliant and shall result in the post-disqualification of the bid. After the preliminary examination of the technical components of the bid, the bank, assisted by its bank secretariat, shall conduct the eligibility check of each bidder that passed the documentary requirements for the technical components of the bids. The bank shall determine if the bidder is eligible to bid for the contract being procured using the DPWH CWA. The CWA program will then electronically process and match the bidder's capability or eligibility data in the CWA. Example is the value of the SC for the major similar categories of works and actual NFCC against the eligibility requirements for the contract derived from the entered into the CWA section 4.8.2 required SLCC costing at least 50% of ABC and NFCC at least equal to ABC. The computer program will automatically determine if the bidder meets the following eligibility requirements. The cost of the bidder's SLCC is at least 50% of the ABC of the project to be procured. And the bidder's NFCC is at least equal to ABC of the project to be procured. However, the contractors under small B category without similar experience contract to be bid may be allowed to bid up to 30 million based on the guidelines as prescribed by the PCAB. The preliminary examination of bids financial proposal, the bank shall open the second envelope of each past bidder and shall evaluate its using non-discretionary, include arithmetical corrections for the computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The bank shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. Receipt of the scanned copies of the second bid envelope with the required as the duly signed bid form, price schedule, or other forms prescribed in 2016 revised IRR for electronic or online bid submission shall be considered as compliant with requirements of the said bid submission. For the bid evaluation, the BAC will immediately conduct detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria considering the following: completeness of the bid, unless the instruction receive partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding document where applicable, bill of quantities shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive but a zero or a dash for the said item would mean it is being offered for free to the government except those required by law or regulations to be provided for, and arithmetical corrections, consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all bid modification if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. In case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Stated bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for the computational error and other bid modifications to identify the lowest calculated bid. Total calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications which exceed the ABC shall be disqualified. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all requirements as specified in the bidding documents. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the BAC its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeit security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR. The post-qualification authenticity and validity of all the Class A eligibility documents supporting the PhilJet's certificate of registration and membership in accordance with the Section 8.5.2 of this IRR, and all the other statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider but shall not be limited to following: verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 25.3 of 26 Revised IRR. Technical requirements: verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the services. Verification of availability and commitment and or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment units to be owned, leased, under purchase by the bidder for use in the contract under bidding as well as checking the performance of the bidder in its ongoing government and private contract. If any of these ongoing contract shows that is leakage of at least 15% and at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repairs on contract with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them with 9 after the procuring notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications. Satisfactory performance of the contractor's obligation as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. DEO number 126 of 2018 certification of RE 9184 in the conduct of the post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts without DPWH. If due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of the infrastructure projects. Financial requirements to verify, validate, and ascertain the bid price proposal of the bidder, and whenever applicable, the bidder's NFCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. If the BAC determines that the bidder with the lowest calculated bid declare the said bid as the lowest calculated responsive bid.
Thank you, Engineer Lapusa. Now for the awarded contracts. Awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. Contract award should be made within the bid validity period. In accordance with Department Order number 11 series of 2021 and Republic Act 9184 and its IRR Section 37.1.4, that no one shall calculate the responsibility to submit the procuring entity within 10 calendar days from the bidder's receipt of the NOWA. The following documents as condition for the signing of contract: letter A, notice of award, with the bidder signed conform; letter B, authority of signing officials or board resolution or secretary's certificate; letter C, for a joint venture, contractors become special JV license and JV. Letter D, with Section 39 of revised IRR. Letter E, construction method using form DPWH Finance 45. Letter F, construction schedule in the form of precedence diagram and bar chart with S-card or other approved tools of project scheduling. And cash flow use form DPWH Atlas INFR 46. Letter G, manpower schedule using form DPWH INFR 46. Using DPW's form INFR 48. Letter I, construction safety and health program using form DPW's form INFR 49, initially approved by DOLE. Letter J, contractors all risk insurance. Letter K, latest income tax and business returns duly stamped and received by BIR and duly validated with the tax payment made. Tax clearance for the full payment of the taxes. And letter L, for a local contractor, certificate under oath stating that the contractor is free and clean from all tax liabilities. For performance security, the performance security shall remain valid until issuance of by the procuring entity of the certificate of final acceptance. The performance security may be released by the procuring entity after the issuance of the certificate of final acceptance of the contract awardee or the surety company. Letter B, it has no claims. Claims for labor and materials contractor, and letter C, other terms of the contract for the procurement of infrastructure projects. The winning bidder shall post an additional performance security following the schedule above to cover any cumulative increase of any of the original value of the contract as result of amendments to order of changes or extra work orders agreements as the case may be. The winning bidder shall cause the extension of the validity of performance security to cover approved contract terms. Contractors all risk insurance or carry as per Department of Order 172 of 2094, additional premiums and only extended due to additional works or where project cost is increased for similar reason without necessarily extending the contract time. The additional works shall be insured upon approval of the applicable variation order, change order, extra work order, supplemental agreements in the full value of the approved additional works. Any supplemental or bid bulletin issued by the entity concerned, if available. Other matters. All bidding documents shall be printed in A4 size bond paper properly paginated with its content appropriately ear-tagged. All attached replicated documents shall be certified through copies and all pages of the bids are duly signed by the prospective bidders. So let's go to the open forum. So it seems everything is clear. I hereby adjourn the conference at exactly 5:40 in the afternoon. Thank you, everyone.